With the growing competition on YouTube in almost every single niche, it's important that you really take a step back and look at what your channel is doing. And today I'm excited because we're diving into channel reviews for all size channels with myself and my friend Rob from VidIQ. And we're going to be taking your channel live. So if you're here live, welcome. If you are watching this on the replay, I want to encourage you to grab a notebook, grab a piece of paper, because we're going to be walking through some of the critical pieces that you should have on your channel. And we know this from doing thousands of channel reviews over the course of our career. My name's Heather Torres, and I'm the host of the YouTube Made Simple show, and I'm excited to get into today's episode. Welcome to this episode of the YouTube Made Simple show. Like I said, I'm Heather Torres from Think Media, and this is probably one of my favorite shows that I get to do here on this channel specifically because we get to actually be with the people. And I want to welcome today, we've got True Mammy is here. We've got Sasha in the house. Christianity Explained is here. Nikki, welcome to the show. I also want to welcome my co-host for this episode, and that is Rob from VidIQ. Rob, how is your day so far?
Hey, Heather, how are you doing? My day was fantastic until I woke up and did that terrible thing of checking my YouTube studio and seeing that today's video release is 9 of 10. Yes, it happens to everybody. I've been frantically changing titles, thumbnails, trying to re-energize it, but well, the weekend's coming, so I've already moved on. So I'm fantastic once again.
Rob, thank you for being so honest, because that does happen, right? We put all of our effort into this video. We hope that it's going to be 1 out of 10 on the YouTube analytics. You wake up, and Rob, that should not be the first thing you're doing, by the way. You should not check the analytics first. But I love that you are doing all the things we're going to talk about today, which is trying to re-optimize that video. So really excited about that. Rob, you're over at VidIQ. Tell the people who don't know about VidIQ and you what your role is there and how VidIQ can help them.
Yeah, so I call myself a YouTuber in residence at VidIQ, which basically means I make video content for VidIQ, and VidIQ is a creator-obsessed YouTube education product and service. We have tools that will transform the way you navigate around YouTube with analytics, stats, helpful information. And also now we're moving into more of the consultancy side of things, where we're offering services such as VidIQ Max, which we're going to talk about a little bit later, I believe.
Mm-hmm. And I love how you said that, creator obsessed. That is a great way to describe VidIQ. And I would say I am a VidIQ obsessed creator. So this is a good match, Rob. I'm excited.
Yeah, you wouldn't believe how many years of thought that value proposition took, but I eventually landed on creator obsessed. And I feel as if that represents both you, I, and everybody who's watching today.
So good. Well, let's go ahead and break down how these channel reviews happen. Rob and I are going to be randomly selecting channel reviews. If you are watching live over on YouTube, if you're watching live inside of one of our Facebook groups, you can drop your link there. The Think Media team is here and ready to grab your link. And if you have a question or you'd like us to steer in a certain direction, that always helps us as well. So if you really would like some thumbnail review or more like overall niche review, we're here for that also. We will let you know when we have enough of these different channels to review. We're going to be going for about an hour today. Rob and I will bounce back and forth, and I'm excited to jump into some of the reviews today. Also, if you've not yet already liked this video, or if you've not yet subscribed to this specific channel, I'm going to encourage you to do that, because we do specific videos like this every single week on this channel, which is our Think Media podcast channel. So love to have you be part of what we're doing here. Skate Tutors, thank you so much for being here today, and let's jump into it. Rob, you've got our first review of the day.
Yeah, so hello to Travis Goodman. Congratulations, first of all, on 200 subscribers. And you are a licensed physiotherapist with weekly mental health content. This currently Feels like a channel that's still in a little bit of the experimental phase. Your content playground, so to speak. I'm seeing a lot of shorts that you've been creating, very much so in the last month. And that seems to have been a conscious pivots from long form content previously. I also want to say some of these thumbnails are of a very high quality. It looks as if you've gone through either a thumbnail evolution or you've maybe outsourced your thumbnails to get a bit of help to design them, but they were looking of a high quality. And, you know, for the size of a channel that you are and the videos that you're making, I'm encouraged by the view counts. Typically, you do tend to get more views on shorts anyway, but if you're getting 600, 250, 600, 700 views for a 200 subscriber channel, excellent work. Cadence seems to be relatively solid as well. I'm looking at maybe one short every 2 or 3 days. I guess the one question I would ask here is accessibility of content in terms of the language that you're using in your titles. For example, what is a vacillator anxious attachment style? I don't know if I've even pronounced that right. And I don't understand that from a complete layman's term approach. However, when I look at a title that says, there was one down here, victim mentality. Okay, I'm more familiar with that term in terms of if I wanted to learn more about it. So perhaps maybe there is a somewhat of a barrier to entry for all viewers. I don't know if this is intentional or not because of your obviously you're a professional licensed physiotherapist. You've got a lot of knowledge, but how do you make that more broadly appealing to a wider audience? But we're in the very early stages here, Travis. So I think it's all generally very positive stuff. And we're just starting to experiment with shorts, Heather. But I know Think Media has been experimenting with them for, you know, I'd say the last year. Do you think Travis is sort of going in the right direction here with a focus on shorts to begin with and then maybe going to long form content later?
Yeah, you know, the evolution of shorts has been really exciting in the YouTube world, and really it's been fun to be able to experiment with different types of shorts to see what's working, what's not working. And actually YouTube just came out because, you know, there was that disconnect between short form content and long form content, which was one of our apprehensions even with the like let's go all in on this short form content. I think he's actually doing a really great job. And one of the things that I love about what short form content can do is it allows you to figure out how to get your message out quickly, quickly. And then you can elaborate on that. So, you know, we had Alex Ramosi. He actually was just on the channel yesterday and today. He is a fast growing entrepreneur. He is an entrepreneur quickly growing in the personal brand space here on YouTube. And he said, one of the really interesting things about short form content was he actually practices what hits in short form and then makes a long form video about it.
Right.
So I think one of the benefits of being able to do short form content again is that you can figure out like, how do I get this message out fast? I did one that's doing really well. That's like 3 ways to make money on YouTube. In less than 30 seconds, I had to tell 3 ways to make money with YouTube. I saw that short was taking off. Now I'm going to make a long form 15, 20, 30 minute video, knowing that is what's right. And especially in, you know, a category like Travis is in here, licensed physiotherapist. I think it's really smart. Here's what I would say though, Travis, when it comes to short form content, you've got to hit the nerve. Write this down, everyone. When it comes to short form content, you've got to hit the nerve. That's how people will watch something over and over. So how do you hit the nerve? What does that mean? Well, funny that I say that and you're a physiotherapist and that's like strengthening your body. But what that means is like, is there a controversial thing you can talk about in your space? Is there a larger topic that people could be talking about in your space that would be 1, shareable and 2, clickable? Like you want those 2 things to be really important. So a lot of times people start making short form content and it's very, very, very niche. Well, that doesn't necessarily blow up. That doesn't get you out into the masses. So I would have everyone try and think about, what is the nerve that you could hit right now on YouTube? What is the nerve you could hit right now with your shorts? I love, Rob, that you're showing even those titling pieces, remembering that your title is critical to make sure that it allows someone to want to click on it. Is it enticing? Do I identify with what you're actually putting out on YouTube? So those are just a couple pieces, but you want to make sure that you are hitting the actual nerve of the people. Anything else, Rob?
I was thinking when you were saying hit the nerve, these titles do kind of have a somewhat challenging the almost like an assumption, like this person's a therapist, and he's maybe suggesting that you might want to fire your therapist because they're not doing their job right, and that's kind of a good example of maybe the title hitting the nerve. So yeah, I love the way you approach that, Heather.
Yeah, and thanks. I read that quickly. I thought he was a physical therapist. This is like a licensed like mind therapist. Yeah,
psychotherapist. I do apologize. That's just me trying to read very quickly.
I know, me too.
Thanks for the correction.
I love it. Wendy said, strike the nerve. Yes, definitely. We had some people asking, how do I get a review? Well, you can actually drop your YouTube link inside of the chat. We have Chris from the Think Media. He's our Think Media community manager. He's actually in there grabbing those links for myself and Rob so that we can do these reviews for you. It is first come, first serve, and we're just going through as quickly as we can for as many reviews as possible. Next up, we have Ask Dave 101. Rob, when you just see this Ask Dave 101, do you have any clue what this channel is about?
No. I see Trucking School 2022, but I can't see any more. Also, easy trucking company jobs. All right, I'm getting a little bit of an idea now. So it is something to do with maybe getting a trucking license, perhaps. I don't know what CDL means. And yeah, the thumbnails are, there are no trucks. Yeah. I see truck as a word, but I'm not seeing truck as an image.
Yeah. So the reason I asked Rob that right away, and actually Think Media fam, let me know, did you know exactly what this was when this popped up? And the reason I asked that is because your YouTube homepage, it's basically like your business card. Like if I don't click on this and know exactly what this is, I'm out because I don't know what Ask Dave 101 with some red lights. I think those are red lights, which would make sense if it's trucking, but I'm more like, can there be a truck? Can there be like something visual to help me really understand exactly what this is? So Dave, I know you're just getting started. Looks like you're hitting almost that 300 subscriber mark. I am really excited for you getting to that. And looks like you are like, again, just starting right now. So about a year in of making content. And I want to encourage you to get, you're doing a lot of content very quickly. So it looks like you jumped on the bandwagon, ready to produce content. But in the last 5 days, you've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 videos headed out. And what I would say is when someone's starting and you've got that passion and fire to get your YouTube channel off the ground, I want you to think quality over quantity. Write that down. Quality over quantity, because right now, Dave, you're throwing a lot of things out and I'm not quite sure what's sticking yet. So that's one thing that I would want you to be thinking about. And when I look at kind of the realm of different types of content you've done, I like that you're actually going into the trucking space. When I think about, we have one of our Video Ranking Academy members, which is our program, our academy here at Think Media, where you can go deeper in your education of learning YouTube. One of our people, Tony, he has a trucking YouTube channel, just passed 1 million views on that channel because he's very specific about who he's speaking to. He's talking to other truckers. I understand CDL to be like a trucker license. So I think that makes sense for if someone is like doing a trucker license, but here's some videos you should do. How to get your CDL license. Now, let me make this a little bit bigger because I want to show you just how many videos you could be making on that exact topic. How to get, or how I got, instead of how to get, how I got my CDL license. That would be like a story you could tell, but like how to get your CDL license. How to get your CDL license without school. I don't even know if you can. Did you get it in a certain country? The year, class A, right? So these are just different videos you could be making around this part right here. So trucking school. I don't know if you're doing trucking schools that pay for training. I don't know if it's tips that you're doing. I don't know if it's like, did you pay for it or did you get a grant for it? These are just some videos you could be making right away. And then I know from Tony, who's inside of Video Ranking Academy, he actually was doing things like how to get trucking contracts, because from what I'm knowing of the industry, contracts, how to get trucking contracts with Amazon, how to obtain a trucking contract, how to get transportation contracts, how to get government trucking contracts. I don't even know, Rob, how I know this much about the trucking industry as a homeschool mom of 3 who does YouTube full time, but I'm just here for all of the things. What are you seeing, Rob, when you look at this channel also for Dave?
I'm in a general agreement in that when you visit a channel for the first time, as a viewer, you want to know if you're in the right place as quickly as possible, whether you should stay or go. And that's good for you as a content creator. You want the right people in your channel watching your content. You don't want people who are fumbling around watching a minute or two and then leaving because they're not satisfied. And just through the presentation of the thumbnails and the titling, it takes what I call a little while to decode the content. And if there's not that instinctive aha moment for the viewer, then it becomes foggy. And I think this is just a good example of a channel that hasn't quite got its packaging right in terms of its thumbnails and their titles. But hopefully they'll get there over time with more experimentation. I think in particular the thumbnails are what could do with some work here. And as Heather was doing the research, you may want to just click on one of those links and then just look at the thumbnails and say, okay, I'm not going to be able to replicate these thumbnails perfectly straight away, but I can look at some of the elements, whether it be the text on screen or quite obviously a truck on screen. That is, it's the lowest common denominator, but things that relate to the, trucking experience is what you want to be doing on the thumbnails, so that when YouTube's sharing it out to new audiences, they're going to have that immediate aha moment when they're seeing that thumbnail.
Really good. And I like to, do an analysis of like, is this popular enough to make a video on?
Yeah.
Right. And when I look right here, the helper trucker, 59,000 subscribers, he has over 500,000 views on this one video over the last 3 years. How, what is it? How does paid CDL school work? 10 things you should know before you, I'm sure before you go. And I mean, that is proof of concept right there. I mean, this is showing right away. When I look up here, also Young Truckers D, 8,000 subscribers, 79,000 views on this video. These are things you want to be studying because success leaves clues. So I would be going through and figuring out what you could be doing
Could
to
you scroll
actually
up?
hit the nerve. What'd you
Heather,
say?
I just spotted something now. Can you just scroll up with so I was going to add here. A lot of those videos were like a year or 3 years old.
Mm-hmm.
It's likely that information has changed, been updated. And look at this perfect example here. Stat Trucking, 336 subscribers. How to get your CDL 2022, nearly 10,000 views. That is a viral breakthrough moment for them. And that is something that the creator, our hero, could watch this video and say, well, I know more information about this particular topic, or I think he didn't explain this very well. I can iterate and make a better version of this video.
Yeah. And I mean, even when you look at production value, he just looks like he set up a camera in his truck and he's making a video about this. So how could you level up your content to be different? But that again, right there, showing that this is definitely something. This is a great one too. This, I mean, the Asian Mao show, official trucking, 500,000, how I became an owner. Like, I mean, I don't know if that is your story, you would want to make sure that you say that, but really, really interesting and a lot of opportunity for you there for getting more viral, more views on your YouTube channel. And I would just say, when I looked at that channel also, Rob, it was confusing because Ask Dave, this to me is I want to do this and that.
Yeah.
And when I see trucking stuff and then I see fentanyl stuff all posted within the last 9 days, you're trying to reach two different people and you've got to pick which one you're trying to reach, because right now those two things are not actually the same audience inside of YouTube's land of trying to figure out who your video is for.
What does
All
the
right,
about?
Rob, who do you have next?
I was just going to ask, what did the about section say?
Oh, good idea.
And see if what is their
Oh,
intention of
well,
the
here we
channel.
go.
Okay, so one-stop shop to future success. For whom, how, why?
Mm-hmm.
And when you do that, make sure you define one very specific target audience that you want to go after.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I ask you what your channel is about, and you say it's about this and this and this, or it's about this, comma, this, remove all of the ands, remove all of the commas, focus on one thing for one audience, at least when you begin on your YouTube journey.
Yes, definitely. All right,
Okay.
Rob.
So this might be the most unique, titillating channel name I've ever seen. Humid with a chance of fish balls tours. I don't know entirely what it means, but at the same time, I also like it. Usually, I would recommend that channel names be relatively short because that means they're easy to spell, easy to remember, easy to find. But this one is so off the wall. I don't know. What do you think, Heather?
I was like, okay, is it food? Is it I was kind of the same thing. I was like, okay, so maybe it's a personal brand eating through Hong Kong. So that's what I thought. I was like, originally food, they're just in Hong Kong. But the name did not match that. Fish bowls tours. Maybe that's like a thing. Maybe that's like
a Hong Kong cultural thing, maybe.
Yeah.
I love the value proposition as well. Eat through Hong Kong's culture. I like the way you pitched that. So the channel has 12,000 subscribers, and it seems relatively healthy in terms of the cadence of your posts. The views on some of these videos are very encouraging. Anything over 10,000, I think here would be considered a success. But there are some spiky views on here. And in particular, I look at this video from about 2 weeks ago, which is your first time going to an anime convention. And it only got 1,400 views, which I think for the rest of the channel, you might consider that a disappointment. So the question is, why is that? And I think my answer is just from the packaging of a thumbnail and a title, is that you're doing something a little bit different here. You're not showing your audience some of the cuisine of Hong Kong. You're going to an anime convention. And maybe I'm not here to watch that type of content. So I was thinking, like, how could you merge these two ideas together, in that you want to go to an anime convention and maybe share information about it, but you also want your audience to be interested in it. So my thought is, you could have maybe repackaged this idea of you're going to try some of the food vendors, some of the restaurants, bars, or whatever at one of these conventions to see what they're like. And that would be your pitch. But once the person is in the video content, you can then explore the anime convention and have as much fun as you would do in this video anyway. It's just, I think the pitch to the audience could be a little different to keep the regular viewers coming back to your content. Because whenever you talk about food in terms of having a hot pot, or you see, here we go. So this is a good example. You're eating everything at the Disneyland Hong Kong. So you're merging visiting a tourist attraction with your love for food. I'm just wondering if you were able to do that as well for this anime convention one. Thumbnail wise, for me personally, I think the thumbnails are a little busy on occasion. You have that tendency to use different fonts with every single thumbnail that you use. And in most cases, that font is difficult to read. So maybe a lack of branding consistency, although I do appreciate that in this space on YouTube, there tends to be quite a lot of variety from one thumbnail to another when you're using fonts. And again, just from my point of view, although within different topics, these strategies can change a little bit. I want to see more of the food that you're eating. Like you have a chicken hot pot here, and I can see that you're enjoying it, but I can't actually see the chicken. Well, the chicken hot pot is in the background. I've just realized that as I've used my magnifying glass, but as on a postage stamp size, it was difficult to, again, decode all of the different elements of this thumbnail. But very encouraging progress from this channel as a whole.
Yeah, it's exciting to see. This is why I love YouTube so much, Rob. This is such a uh for me, I think this is so cool. It's probably her passion. She probably
Mm.
loves doing this. She's bringing more of the culture onto the internet, and I think it's just really cool when you can develop into you can develop a channel, that can be something that's supporting you. That's one thing I wanted to see, Rob. Can we see if there's revenue streams tied to this channel, or if she's really making content right now and AdSense is her number one way?
So you want me to look into the description
Mm-hmm.
here for any links? I can't see anything. There's
Mm-hmm.
social media links, points of attraction, but nothing pointing to anything that might be doing with an affiliate deals or merch or a course of some kind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's one thing I would say, especially for a channel, you're over the 10,000 subscriber mark, which means you
Yep.
have what's called a micro audience. You have the ability to recommend brands. And this is something that I'm talking more and more about for small channels, is this idea that there is already an audience that is interested in what you're interested in. So how can you pair that with a revenue stream onto your channel? Most people are just doing YouTube AdSense alone, which is great. That's a great way to get started. However, there are 15 other ways that you could be monetizing your content along the roads of building a business around your YouTube channel. So I want to encourage you that if you don't have a make money plan for your YouTube channel, that this week alone you should watch at least 5 hours of content of how you could be making money with your YouTube channel. Because I see a channel like that, Rob, and I'm like, man, different travel sites, because people are
Yeah.
going to be looking at that content to travel there to actually experience those things. I'm so into this right now, Rob. I just came back from a family vacation where I probably spent 10 hours researching what should we do, what are the prices of things, how could we enjoy this place, where should we be eating, all of those types of things. And if you have a channel like they do, I think it's really important that you really think about holistically, how can I build this into a revenue generation for me and my family, so that this content that I'm making isn't just an energy suck, but that it also actually is part of your income streams as well. So really exciting for that channel. Hey, Rob, this is going to be a put you on the spot question, and I just need to know, Rob, are you subscribed to the Think Media podcast?
Oh, am I ever? Of course. I'm here now on the Think Media podcast channel, so why wouldn't I be?
Good. I just wanted to make sure. Sometimes I'll look at my like subscriptions and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I watch this creator's channel all the time and I'm not actually subscribed." So, I want to take a minute. I needed to get a little sip of tea here and check out the Think Media podcast. Did you know that we have the Think Media podcast? If you liked this episode, you can get more just like it over on the Think Media podcast. That's where Sean Cannell and myself go deeper in topics like how to become a YouTuber. The struggles are real of being a content creator. And we interview our industry expert friends, bringing you the best information right now to help you grow and scale your YouTube channel. So if you want to join us over on the Think Media podcast, you can find us over on that channel at youtube.com/Think Media Podcast. Well, we can make this even easier for those who are watching this particular stream, Rob, because you're on the podcast right now. So if you're not yet subscribed, we are trying to get to 100,000 subscribers, get another silver play button for this channel specifically. So if you are not yet subscribed, I'm going to encourage you to subscribe so that you can actually be a part of what we're doing here at Think Media on a deeper level. We bring people like Rob on, we do channel reviews, and we have so much content that we have here on the shows. So, Rob, I've got a really exciting one. I've got casual DIY. Congratulations, 40,000 subscribers already over here on the channel. And I know exactly what I'm getting. Casual DIY. I'm going to learn, get inspired, and create. So great job with that. And I want to dive a little bit deeper into kind of the channel setup that this channel has. And that first is right up here in these buttons. Now, having the subscribe up here in the banner and having the subscribe right here you're just double dipping. Basically, you want to use this for where they should go next. So where they should go next, I see here is right into your membership, right? If you have the ability to have a membership, you can actually use this here, this line here, to give a call to action that would bring someone deeper into your world. Now, most people don't know what this little dot was. I didn't even know what this little dot was. So I think it's really cool that when I clicked on it, I was like, oh, I can go right over here. I can be a part of your community at a deeper level. I can learn more. And it looks like you are creating membership based content. So I would actually go through and re-update this because that's going to help. And then I see like your face here and I was like, oh my gosh, that's your website? Okay, well, I need to know that that's your website before I get this far down. So deciding where you want someone to go is really important, and using this part here, which is your channel banner, to be a place where you could say, you literally could type the words in here like, join my community here, and make a little arrow that goes down, and then they can click on it. And then it could say, interested in new products, go here. And you could have an arrow that goes there. And that just helps someone right away see within the first 5 seconds of joining your channel, seeing your channel here on the homepage, what they can actually do to go deeper with you. So that's number one. Number two is when I look at your thumbnails, one thing is I like this one here, DIY Garden Stool, for a couple reasons. You have contrasting colors inside of this thumbnail, and it's very, very clean. When I go over here, this thumbnail specifically to me, the product that I'm getting is very far away and I can't even really see what I'm getting. So I understand that this is like a tool. This is like the tool that it does the engravings. And then these are the engravings. But I want to see this up close. I want to see way more of that than what I'm seeing here. This also is the same thing. This is a lot happening in this. I know that you are giving a review of this product, but this is really far away to see what the outcome of that product is. So going in deeper with your thumbnails could be something that could help you on your channel. Again, if I go over to the About page here, great job, because I get a little right away. I get that you are a self-taught woodworker. You are Polish, which is awesome to actually see culture linked into that. And I think it's really cool that you have that. However, I want to know, like, can I work with you? What do I need to know next? Join my community as an Amazon associate or qualified. So purchases that you make from my Amazon links will help with this channel. This to me is something that would go in your description of the video. It doesn't have to actually go inside of your About page part of what you're doing here. So that would be number one. And then when I go through and I look at some of your stats here, 3 videos out this month and less on the views. So when that happens, I like to look at, okay, well, what does it look like over the last 3 months? Let's look at the last 3 months. And this is a cool tool from VidIQ actually that helps me actually see more of what's happening over the last 3 months. So I can see that the content you're creating, either you did a content pivot, right? Maybe you've switched in the type of content you've created, or you're not creating content that people want to watch comparative to the other content that people were watching. So I'm just kind of looking around on what you've been doing, and I see that you've definitely gone down the order. What would you think, Rob? Or tour? I'm not familiar with what that is. But if I look at just the last 3 months of the type of content you were making prior to versus the kind of content you're making now, it looks like you went away from some of the just basic DIY larger, like this is a foldable ladder shelf, 5K views on that one there. Even when I look at this one here, this is a very clean thumbnail. This is a very deep reach clamp. So that is something that you're making. So just thinking about the content that you are creating, you could actually be going a little bit deeper into that. Let's see if there's anything trending. I'm clicking, I've VidIQ installed right now, and I can see just some different stats and trending that's happening on your channel. Let's go to the most popular videos because success leaves clues. And it looks like over the last several years, you've been creating great content that's getting a lot of views. So have you made a part 2 to that content? When I look at something like this workbench with a flip top miter saw station all in one, this was made 3 years ago. I would like to know, how has this held up over 3 years? Have you made that video? Because if someone's interested in making this, they probably want to know, wow, did something break on it? Is it still working? Is it still your favorite workbench? What does that look like for you? So you've got a lot of successful videos that you did in the past. And I would be thinking, what are some of the adjacent videos you could be making directly related to that successful video? Because as you are creating content and as that video is getting steam on YouTube, you could have another one riding the coattails, and that could lead someone to actually watching more of your content rather than just one video at a time. Anything specific you're seeing, Rob?
I'm still caught up on the channel name and the channel banner. If you just scroll to the top, casual DIY.
Mm-hmm.
I look at the thumbnails and the products that they're reviewing and the stuff that they're building, and this feels more like hardcore, passionate, quite skilled DIY.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I don't know if I'm just getting caught up on the channel name there, but yeah, I mean, this person is clearly very talented at what they do, and as you rightly set out, the most popular ones, epoxy resin. Has been a successful topic in the past, and I couldn't see any content recently, I think,
Mm-hmm.
on that topic. So maybe revisiting that as well. And you know, it does. I'm trying to think of the ideal viewing candidate here. You look at DIY gardens. If you just scroll to the top, Heather, the one on the right hand side which says DIY garden stool with storage. That seems fairly logical, like what I'm going to make here, and this is how I'm going to make it, versus the Auto Laser Master 3 review plus testing. You know, very specific piece of equipment. So it feels as if it's going from very approachable content that maybe anybody could watch and get information from, to, I guess, maybe with the Laser Master stuff, there's some affiliate sales going on there, and maybe you've been sent the products for review. I don't know. We've not watched the video. But maybe there needs to be just a strategy session to sit down and say, okay, who is my ideal audience member? It's somebody who's been doing DIY for maybe 6 or 7 months already. They've bought some equipment, but they haven't gone into really specialized equipment. They're willing to spend $10,000 to $20,000 per year on this passion. I feel as if your content is already aligned with that. It's just, again, the channel banner and the channel name, which was throwing me off a little bit.
Yeah. And I do like that, he did post the latest one he posted today, actually, was his channel update. So without watching this video, obviously we're giving our own critique based on just what we're seeing. But I see that you do have channel update. And I really like how you just said that, Rob, because with a creator like this, he's been creating content for about 4 years. There's evolution as a content creator, and there's even an evolution of exactly who you're making content for. And I think that's really key to, once a year, really step back. We have this inside of our niche finder course, and we tell people once a year, you should step back and just reevaluate. Where's this going? Who is this for? What are the revenue streams I'm trying to accomplish with this? And actually, what is the outcome I want with this YouTube channel? Because sometimes you can get in just the content creator rut, and all of a sudden you're like, wait, where am I going? Am I going north or south? Like, what am I even creating here? And it could be really, really key to a content creator who's been doing something like this for 4 years to reevaluate that. Do you guys do that at VidIQ often, Rob?
We should do it more than we do, to be honest. But yeah, I think we've kind of fallen into this certain audience that we appeal to, which is generally creators under 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 hours of watch time, working towards monetization, and they are 50% likely to be a gamer or another type of channel. That's where we're currently at. But you know what? I think it's about time for us to do that re-strategizing points.
Mhm.
As we have had like a new influx of audience recently in the last two months. Our views have been significantly up, so we'll probably need to do research into who's discovering us at this point.
Really good. I love that. And Daniel asked this question. I thought this would kind of relevant to even what we're talking about right now. Gary V talks about business, social media, NFTs, collectible cards, garage sales, a lot of topics at the same time. Rob, why is this not something, especially with the audience that you guys really are reaching on vidIQ, why is this something you wouldn't recommend for a brand new content creator?
Because the topic of Gary V is not social media, NFT, collectible cards, garage sales. It is Gary V. He is the magnetic force behind all of his content. And I think ultimately, what every creator wants to do is to be known for themselves as a brand, as a personality, etc., etc. But generally speaking, when you first start creating content, the value is your content as opposed to yourself, because unfortunately viewers tend to be quite selfish and say, what's in it for me? I don't care who you are. I just want to extract the value of your content. But once you get somebody into a video, and then you can share a bit of your personality, your entertaining skills, your comedy, so on and so forth, that's when people start to get to know you a little more personally. And Gary V, what was his first niche and topic? It was selling wine, as far as I can remember. Yeah, wine library. So that's what he was first known for. And look at those terrible thumbnails. Whatever happened to him?
Just crazy. And this is, I think, the part that people don't actually do their research on. Yes, Gary Vee now, 16 years later, 16 years, not 16 days, not 16 weeks, not 16 months, because he was actually being a content creator 16 years ago about things that people weren't actually getting on to watch Gary. People were getting on to see the review of the Pinot Noir goes sideways in Chile. Like, people were getting on because he was actually doing reviews on wine. And here's the other thing I want people to see. Gary Vee's channel right now, Rob, is pulling in tens of millions of views, right? But would you look at this? 1.5K views, 2K views, 6.5K views, 2.4K views. This one right here really popped off, 322,000 views, 3.3 thousand views. So I understand that the allure of YouTube, right? The allure of becoming a social media guru or becoming, a personal brand feels like it should happen overnight, Daniel. Feels like it should happen overnight, Dave, and who do we have? Tomas. Like, it feels like it should be happening a lot faster. But I just want you to see here that this started with one channel talking about wine over and over and over and over. And I think this is something that a lot of creators want to skip. They want to skip the 3.2 views. They want to skip the 6,000 views, the 500 views. But this is actually where you get the establishment of becoming a content creator. This is actually where the growth happens as a content creator. So pick your niche, pick who you want to talk to, Daniel, and go all in on talking to that specific audience, because over time, you'll then be able to talk about more things. I know that, Rob, you are very passionate about YouTube specifically, but that's not your only passion, right? Like, you have other things in your life that you probably could be talking about on YouTube, but you keep it very specific to talking about vidIQ, correct?
Yeah, I am a closet 1990s wrestling fan. Like, I listen to hours upon hours of podcasts. But other than a few impressions of a rock and like sometimes displaying my wrestling belt there, I think Pat Flynn is very much a ambassador for this point of view, because I remember when I interviewed him at VidCon, he was telling me how like Back to the Future is his favorite film of all time, and he incorporates it massively into his content, but it's not the focus of a marketing pitch to the viewer. He's just sharing that he is a human being and he has other interests once people are within his video content.
Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely. So just wanted to really hit that on today's podcast. Rob, You are, though, the lead content creator, the connoisseur of the content over on vidIQ. You are one of the reasons why vidIQ is over 1 million subscriber channel, and I think, one of the best softwares to have connected to your YouTube channel as a content creator. It is the biggest tool that I use in my tool belt, Rob. But can you tell us just a little bit about vidIQ for those who are not yet a part of the vidIQ community?
Well, thank you. However, I'd like to think I'm the only reason that we have 1 million subscribers, but I'll take some contribution to our success. Yes, so I joined vidIQ because I started using their tools 6 or 7 years ago when we had the copy tags feature. It made it very easy to find out what other tags were being used by creators, copy them and paste them into our own videos. The software's moved on a little bit since then. We're now moving into the AI space. So, for example, when you start your channel, you download vidIQ, we'll start to analyze your content and suggest video ideas, up to 50 every single day if you're on our top boost tier, which I think there's a free trial about that. I'm sure Heather will tell you about in a short while. Once you have the idea and you've made a video, how do you turn that into a really clickable title? Again, we've got the title generator, which is going to make a curious headline grabbing title. But we don't just have our tools anymore. We're now moving into more of the personal coach approach, whereby we become your mentor, your trainer, the person sitting on your shoulder, tapping you on the head and saying you're doing a really good job. You got to keep pushing through. You're going to have bad days. You're going to have good days, but YouTube is a marathon, not a sprint. And so that's where we talk about our relatively new service called VidIQ Max. I don't know if you want to just share my screen for a second, Heather, where we realize that once you are maybe monetized and you are getting some income from your channel, how do you reinvest that back into more development of your skill sets and education? And so what we have at vidIQ Max is a cohort of students, hundreds now, who are attending bi-weekly, often more regularly than that, but we commit to bi-weekly training sessions with industry experts. So previously we've had on people like Jake Fellman sharing his insights into YouTube Shorts. We recently had on Jake Thomas, who gave us the inside track on making really curious titles that get clicks. But beyond the training sessions, we have a growing Discord channel, which is just incredible. We've got peer-to-peer learning. We've got coaches in there also offering their advice. We even have, through their own volition, we didn't demand that they do this. We have a YouTube employee who just sort of sits there stealthily in the background, listening to all of these questions and answers, and then just dropping in at random with knowledge bombs saying, yeah, that's kind of true, but it actually works like this. So to have that knowledge and insight in the Discord channel is amazing. And from what I hear, Heather, you are going to be making your first appearance on the vidIQ Max sessions very soon. Yeah, what are you going to be talking about?
Yeah, so we actually had the second edition of YouTube Secrets drop, which is Sean Cannell's book. And one of the newest chapters inside of that book is all about the perfect video recipe. So I'm going to be, for the first time, sharing it exclusively inside of the vidIQ community of just the what we've seen over hundreds of thousands of videos of what actually creates a winning video. And there's certain pieces you need in that recipe. You know, like when you bake a cake, if you omit the sugar from the cake, it is not a good tasting cake. And the same thing applies for YouTube videos. You've got to make sure you've got all the right ingredients in it, whether it's an entertainment video, whether it's an education video, whether it's a tutorial video, or it's a reaction video. There are certain pieces that should be in every single video. So I'm going to be sharing that exclusively inside of the vidIQ Max community.
Yeah, and so when you attend one of those, I guess what you call a virtual conference, but it happens on a regular basis, Heather will do a fantastic presentation, and then there'll be a Q&A afterwards as well if you want to ask Heather and other experts for information. So it's simply called vidIQ Max, as well as all of the peer-to-peer and personal connections and and coaching you get. You also get all of the vidIQ tools on top as well. So vidIQ Boost is included with vidIQ Max. So yeah, do check it out. Just search vidIQ Max if there isn't a link in the description here on Google, and you should be able to find this page.
So good. Well, thank you, Rob. And
Yeah, no
also,
problem.
if you're not already a part of vidIQ, you can go to vidiq.com/think, and you can get started with some really incredible tools that are happening over on vidIQ. Rob, let's get into one final review, but I just want to encourage Vaughn here. Vaughn says, is an 18% click-through rate good or not? It was 32 days ago. I would say, Vaughn, that is a phenomenal click-through rate when you're looking at the overall, as more and more people are coming into YouTube and you're making more and more videos. 18% click-through rate is incredible. Rob, what's your take on this?
Yes, but it depends on the sample size.
That's true.
For example, if you're a brand new channel and you have 100 impressions and the click-through rate is 18%, that's good, but it's probably not enough yet to start triggering more recommendations. Now, one thing is, like you say, it was 30% 2 days ago. Now it's 18%. Well, that might actually be a really good thing because YouTube has shared your content out to a lot more people and tested it with new audiences. And as it tests with new audiences, less people will click, but it's sharing it with more of an audience. I always answer this question like this: would you prefer to have 1,000 impressions and 50% click-through rate, or 10 million impressions and a click-through rate of 5%? If you quickly do the maths, you prefer a lot more distribution of your content. So on an individual basis, it's very difficult to answer this question, but 30%, 18% do sound like relatively positive numbers.
Yeah, I think you're right, Rob. I was making a lot of assumptions by reading that one thing,
But
and my brain
you have to, don't you, with these sort of individual data points.
Yep. So good. All right. Well, Rob, let's get to your final channel review here today. And if you didn't get a channel review today, no worries. We are here all the time. And actually over on the vidIQ channel, they're doing weekly channel reviews as well. So Rob, we've got the Gaming Mum, which I'm sure, Rob, Mum is me. She's your people, right?
She must be a Brit, yeah. If she's a mum as opposed to a mom. And also full credit to you for not only being a mum, but playing video games and having a YouTube channel as well. There's a lot going on there with your busy life. Here's a question though. You are a gaming mum, and I think that puts you in quite a unique, probably underserved part of the YouTube landscape, because there are so many gaming channels. But you're a gaming mum, and that means that you can target a very specific audience. There are likely tens of thousands of gaming mums out there, so you should be appealing to them. But when I look at your thumbnails and your titles, it doesn't look as if you're doing that really at all from what I can see. I am seeing some tutorials about how to set up parental controls through a Nintendo Switch. That might be something that a parent is concerned about, absolutely. But in terms of a thumbnail and a title, I feel as if it could be a strong emphasis on, protecting your children through these parental controls. I also see something that really concerns me, just because through all of the channel audits we do every single week, we see this time and time again, and we worry that this creator is going to be exactly the same place this time next year. And it's these let's play style of content. Now, there's nothing necessarily wrong with doing let's plays. If that's what you're passionate about and that's what you want to share with your audience, by all means, go ahead. However, this is one of the oldest and most oversaturated topics on YouTube. And so if you're going to have a thumbnail that simply says, let's play episode 3, Stardew Valley, which is quite an old game, unfortunately, there are likely tens of thousands, if not more, creators who have attempted to do this in the past. There's probably still a couple of hundred around who do it successfully, but thousands have failed because of this type of strategy, in that you're not telling me what's happening in this video, I don't know, other than you're playing this game, I don't know what part of the game you're playing, if anything dramatic happens, if you have solved anything in this particular game. How do you make this more exciting to me who's encountering your content for the very first time to get me to click? And on top of that, you're jumping through quite a lot of topics. Stardew Valley, Fall Guys, Little Witch in the Woods, Pokemon. What else have we got? Persona 5, Knockout City. I know those videos are over a year old as well. So that's something to consider in terms of cadence as well. Yeah, just looking at the top row of videos. You're posting a video, what, about every month at this point?
Mm-hmm.
Gaming channels, in terms of their cadence, tend to be more regular. But I know you're a gaming mom. So when you think about how often your audience is probably watching, I would guess a gaming mom maybe watches YouTube once a week on a Sunday night when everybody's gone to bed and you can have a little bit of R&R, maybe with a glass of wine. Hey, check out Gary Vees' channel if you want to learn more about wine. But yeah, maybe if you can commit to one video a week on a particular game that you like to play, and I'm thinking of like Animal Crossing, Stardew Valley, maybe The Sims. I think those are all, I'm basing that off of what my wife plays in terms of what female gamers tend to enjoy playing. So apologies if I'm stereotyping a little bit there. But at the same time as that, you know, how are you going to make them more appealing to your target audience? Because when I quickly mouse over the thumbnails, I'm not seeing you in the videos either. You know, you can maybe record yourself, film your reactions. Essentially, what I'm all saying here is right now, you're a gaming channel with the channel name, The Gaming Mum. How do you make all of your content appeal to that particular target audience?
That one of the things I'm seeing, Rob, too, I was confused. I was like, oh, the gaming mom. So I thought, oh, she's either teaching parents about gaming or is
Yeah.
she playing games? And so I was originally, I was like, okay, which one is she? Because it says reviews, commentary, and more. So I mean, there is an audience for both. And I think that's one of those things you have to decide at the very beginning. Who is your audience? Who are you actually creating content for? Because that's going to determine the way that you go into making your content. Really cool. I think she's also using Canva. That was Canva. So that's really cool to see, making little videos from Canva. That's a Canva video.
That was a long intro though.
Yeah,
Like,
that was
come
very
on,
long.
get on with it. We're 6 seconds in now. Show me the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could start right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Um, yeah, and going to a ton of different games and just starting out. So I think this is great. You know, you're experimenting with different things. But that's why we're here. We're here to help. We're here to coach. We're here to help you move forward in what you're doing. And look, there's a person for you, Nikki B. I'm a gaming mom and I do Roblox games. So awesome. Really excited that you are here as well. Anything else on this channel, Rob?
I was just trying to sort by most popular to see if there was a particular game that was picking up traction. So no, I don't think anything's really taken off for the channel yet. The most popular one was from over a year ago. So
Yeah.
you still have this, you're still in this exploratory phase at this point of
Mm-hmm.
finding your home on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess what I don't want to see is in a year's time, you have video titles that are "Let's Play a Game Episode 94 Walkthrough." It's just been done so many times, and it's such a functional way of describing content as opposed to making it very exciting to watch. And we've seen channels do this for years and years and years, and they've made 1,000 videos and they're still getting less than 10 views per video. And I don't want the same thing to happen to this creator.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I see that over and over. And again, yes, when you're in that exploratory space, it's fun to make videos. It's fun to do that, but really it's figuring out, you know, what do you want the end outcome of this to be? So really, really exciting. Well, hey, Rob, we are at the top of the hour. Or top of the half hour.
The bottom of the
So
hour,
if you're
yeah.
watching live. I want to thank you, Rob, for coming on, for sharing your expertise for what is happening here on YouTube. So many great things. Rob, where can they find you and how can they go deeper if they want more channel reviews like this from VidIQ?
So you can find me on the VidIQ channel on a very regular basis. We do live streams every Tuesday on channels. We do video reviews every Wednesday. And I'm always kicking about in the social medias. And can I just say, because I think this is public knowledge now, right? Congratulations to Sean
Yes.
and the little baby boy who was born yesterday, I believe. So yeah, huge congratulations to the entire Think Media team.
Yes, we had a new baby cannel. We've got John Steven welcomed to the world. So if you were waiting around for the baby news, the newest addition to the Think Media family has arrived, and he is doing great. Baby's doing great. Mama's doing great. Sean's doing great. And we're just so excited for this new little bundle of joy. That's
Sorry, did I just spoil that? Was that like
no, it's already
spoiler?
public knowledge. It's out on Instagram. If it's hit Instagram, Rob, it is public knowledge. So Instagram and Facebook. I'm just trying to find it right now because he is the cutest little baby. Looks just like his older brother. And if you have not heard Sean's story, this truly is miracle. This baby and oh, here we go. Here we go. Let's share because everyone loves a good baby photo, right? Hopefully this gets us more views. That's really
that's the hope, isn't it? I'll take a picture of my cute dog afterwards, and maybe that'll boost the algorithm.
Yeah, dogs and babies. Here we go. This is the new addition to the Cannel family. This is baby John Steven, miracle baby, really inspiring. If you, like I said, if you've heard Sean's story before, it is incredible that they are, they are being fruitful and multiplying just as we have been commanded to do. So really excited about that. Thank you, Rob, for being a part of what we're doing. Hey, if you've not subscribed yet to the Think Media podcast, you're on the channel right now. If you're on YouTube, I want to encourage you to hit the subscribe button. That just helps us to be able to allow for more content to go to more creators just like you. And you'll get exclusive videos just like this with channel reviews. We are uploading amazing content every single week for you as part of our Tuesday ritual. And we want you to be a part of what we're doing here at Think Media. So make sure you subscribe, like this video, and let me know what your aha moment was from today's live stream down in the comment section below. If you have a question, you can leave that down in the comment section below and our team will get it, or it may be a future video that we have here at Think Media. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next stream. Are you looking for the best YouTube marketing and money-making strategies for growing your online business faster? Then make sure that you are subscribed to the Think Media podcast. Every single Tuesday, we release a power-packed, actionable podcast episode where we cover the latest advanced strategies for growing faster on YouTube. We also bring on industry experts and we pick their brains on how they're using YouTube to grow their businesses and how you can do it too. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Just search Think Media Podcast wherever you like to listen to your podcast, or head to thinkmediapodcast.com.